NASCAR officials have confirmed a revolutionary shift in championship weekend locations. Starting in 2026, NASCAR will implement a rotation model for its championship races, moving away from the fixed venue approach that has defined title battles for decades. This decision represents far more than a simple venue change. It fundamentally alters the championship landscape, introducing variables that will challenge teams, delight fans, and potentially reshape the very nature of NASCAR's championship pursuit. The implications of this change extend well beyond the track, affecting everything from team preparation to fan attendance to the competitive balance that defines NASCAR's most important weekend. The NASCAR Cup Series has always embraced evolution, introducing new venues and formats with regularity. But this announcement takes change to an entirely different level. As former Cup champion Chase Elliott said, "I think it's always changing and always evolving. I don't think that's ever going to stop." The epicenter of this major shift lies in NASCAR's decision to move its championship weekend back to Homestead-Miami Speedway for 2026, followed by a rotation of venues in subsequent years. After Phoenix Raceway's 6-year run as championship host from 2020 to 2025, the finale will return to the South Florida track where champions were crowned from 2002 to 2019. NASCAR confirmed that the 2026 championship weekend for the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Craftsman Truck Series will take place at Homestead-Miami Speedway on November 6th through 8th. This marks the first time since 2019 that Homestead will host the season's deciding races. However, the true revolution lies in what comes next. NASCAR officials announced that following Homestead's 2026 hosting duties, championship weekend will move to a new rotating model as part of a fan-centric effort to ensure that the season's exciting conclusion is shared amongst NASCAR's marquee venues and key markets. Ben Kennedy, NASCAR Executive Vice President and Chief Venue and Racing Innovation Officer, explained the rationale. If you've watched a lot of other sports properties that are moving the location around year after year, part of that is to build up pent-up demand, but part of it is that variability in a lot of the markets, and then a little bit of it is what we talked about as well, is just having a little bit of differentiation as it relates to the competition and racing product as well. This approach parallels other major sports events like the Super Bowl, NBA All-Star Weekend, and college basketball's Final Four. However, NASCAR's rotation introduces a unique competitive element absent from those other championships, as different track configurations will fundamentally alter how teams approach the title-deciding race each year. The announcement makes clear that both Homestead-Miami and Phoenix will remain in the championship rotation moving forward. Beyond these confirmed venues, NASCAR has established specific criteria for potential championship hosts. Ben Kennedy outlined several key factors that will determine which tracks make the cut. I would say it's 4 or 5 things. It's marketing and promotion for sure, and its location. We want to be in a warm weather market. Ideally, being in November, that first week of November, it kind of limits you to the amount of races that you can run. The facility quality represents another critical consideration. Kennedy said, "In Phoenix, we put over $100 million into the redevelopment of that track, and it was a big catalyst for bringing this championship to the West Coast. We're going to be putting a good amount of capital into Homestead as well ahead of the race." The racing product itself weighs heavily in the decision-making process. NASCAR aims to showcase tracks that reliably produce compelling competition for its championship weekend. Additionally, broader industry feedback plays a vital role, with NASCAR collecting input from broadcast partners, teams, drivers, corporate partners, and fans. NASCAR has also specified which track types will and won't make the championship rotation. Kennedy said, "Never say never, but I think we've unanimously agreed that it needs to look and feel like what we would expect traditional NASCAR racing to look and feel like. Short tracks, intermediate tracks, mile tracks are all on the board." Notably, super speedways have been explicitly excluded from consideration, with Kennedy saying, "Super speedways, I think we all feel like right now we wouldn't consider that as a championship venue. Not that Daytona isn't a championship caliber venue. Road courses were characterized as probably lower on the list of potential championship venues." NASCAR confirmed that tracks under consideration come from various ownership groups, NASCAR, Speedway Motorsports, and independents, meaning no track is automatically disqualified based on ownership. While NASCAR has only confirmed Homestead-Miami and Phoenix for the championship rotation, several other tracks have emerged as potential candidates based on the established criteria. Josh Berry, who secured his first Cup playoff berth with a Las Vegas win, advocated for the Nevada track. He said, I think the first one that comes to mind is Las Vegas, not only because of us winning there, but it just seems to put on good racing, and I think it's a good market for the championship race as well. I think that checks those two boxes there. It's a really good racetrack, but a really good area that could bring some excitement for the championship race. Las Vegas Motor Speedway presents a compelling case. Like Phoenix, it sits in a desert climate conducive to November racing. The track consistently delivers exciting competition with multiple racing lanes and unpredictable outcomes. Its location in a tourism-focused market would also enhance the championship weekend experience for traveling fans. Kansas Speedway has established itself as arguably the best 1.5-mile track in NASCAR today. Last year's spring race featured the closest finish in NASCAR history when Kyle Larson edged Chris Buescher in a photo finish. However, Kansas faces a significant obstacle: November weather. The average high temperature on November 1st is just 60 degrees, dropping to 56 degrees by November 10th, with average lows below 40 degrees. Texas Motor Speedway and Darlington Raceway both offer suitable November climates. Atlanta Motor Speedway would theoretically qualify based on location, but its recent reconfiguration into a drafting-style track, similar to Daytona and Talladega, likely disqualifies it under NASCAR's stated preference for traditional racing formats. NASCAR has made clear that tracks hosting championship weekend must meet exceptionally high standards for facilities and fan amenities. Phoenix Raceway underwent a $178 million renovation before becoming the championship venue, with expanded grandstands, a new layout, and enhanced fan areas. Homestead-Miami Speedway will similarly receive significant upgrades before its 2026 championship weekend. While the exact investment hasn't been announced, Ben Kennedy highlighted the necessity of substantial improvements. He said, "We're going to be putting some capital in that facility to make sure it is a championship caliber property when we show up to it next year."